Charm God.
Dr. Umar Johnson is indeed a grifter. I'm gonna start calling him Mother Love. He reminds me of Mother Love. If you haven't seen the Counsel Culture episode between him and Nick Cannon, I really want you to go check it out. But this is going to tie into what I've been saying about people like him and Dr. Shine Bryan. Now you got David Cooley. You got a lot of these people that are talking about relationships and marriage, which is the end game. That's the end goal of dating. And they have none. They have nothing to show you that they can even talk about this subject matter at all. They have no marriages. They have nothing, no example to offer you to even sit in that seat and have that conversation at all whatsoever. Hey, before we really get into this message, go ahead and like this. Set that bell, hit that bell, go ahead and subscribe, because what you're tuned in now is what I really want to get into. This is the center of my message, the center of why I do what I do, because at its core, remember, I've told you that marriage is the way to save our community. It is the most revolutionary thing that we could do, is to have a family, have a wife, and raise children. So we are just going to go ahead and get into it. And this is what I really want our people to understand, and all people to understand. My problem with a lot of these coaches, counselors, whatever the case may be, is they are not talking from a place of wisdom. You are not talking from a place of wisdom when you talk about marriage and what it takes to be inside of a marriage. Also, we are not listening to one another. We're not listening to one another when we talk about our experiences. That brother Nick Cannon told him, hey, I've done the work. He's gone to therapy. He understands where he's at and where he's going. And all he kept trying to do was talk about Mariah Carey. You think that Dr. Umar Johnson want to hook up with Mariah Carey? Ain't she half bunny? She's a bunny. See, I was gonna let him make it, because you see him pop up so much when he talk about bunnies and it's a bunny epidemic. Where? That doesn't coincide with the statistics of black men that are with black women. You a grifter. You just out here saying stuff because you want people to pay attention to you. But unfortunately, what happens is when these men get on these podcasts and start having this dialogue and conversation, it mirrors what our women have been saying. It mirrors what our women have been saying. And the issue is we care so much about what our women think about us. We care so much about what our women think about us, and include them on the topic of masculinity, that we get up here and just start repeating the same rhetoric they have. And until you've talked to somebody that's actually been in a marriage, until you talk to a man that has actually been in a marriage or a long-term relationship, you're not going to understand what it's really like to be in there in a marriage with a woman. What do you have to be doing as a man? How do you have to act as a man? And also the type of mate that you choose. Because here's the truth. A lot of times in marriage, you can do everything that you were supposed to be doing and still have issues out of this woman. How do you maintain that? How do you manage that? How do you manage that? You see, we take celebrity ideals. We take celebrity examples and try to relate them to common ones. And there's more common folk than celebrities. When Nick Cannon gets up there and talks about he did not feel adequate because of the money. He didn't feel like a man because of the money. And that's one of the reasons why he got out of that marriage. He didn't want to be Mr. Mariah Carey. He's not wrong for feeling like that. As a man, we are designed to be the leaders. We are designed to be in charge. And yes, a man should feel like he's in charge. He's at his optimal, at his best. It's no different than when your woman wants you to make her feel a certain way. Feelings do matter, but you can't respond out of emotion. You must be logical in the things that you do. So what that means is when he's not feeling like that, he doesn't respond from that aspect. He doesn't make changes from his emotion. He evaluates it and he addresses it. Do you really think someone like Mariah Carey, who has a Christmas song that comes up every year and probably makes a gazillion bucks, is going to be in any type of subservient position for a man? Men do not function well submitting unto women and women in that manner. And why are we trying to push that? That's that sassy democratic ideology. Why are we trying to push that? What the man is saying is, I wanted to be a man and feel like a man. That's my motivation to get up and work. And that's the issue. The issue we're having right now in the modern relationship is that the woman want to be in charge. And she feels as though her money dictates everything. That's why you got these bozos up here talking about the value in them is in their pockets or their penis. Remember, I told y'all, it's in your mind. Whatever a man thinketh, so is he. The value of a man is in your mind, who you are and in your character. And when you are in a situation where you don't feel like you're adequate, you're gonna want to leave. See, I got the ground time, baby. I got over 20 years of marriage. I did over 20 years of marriage. I've got to talk to other brothers who've been married, and I know what we go through with these women. There is a solution. We ain't talking about that right now, but we talking about what we go through as men. I can get into that and tell you, hey, look, I got a divorce and I regret that. I can get into that too. I'd have been better off sitting there with Nick talking about this. Let me also insert this as far as like when we begin to talk about marriage and what it takes to really be there. The commitment has to be over. The commitment has to be over people's feelings. It has to be over people's feelings. It has to be over the temperamental things. When you have a marriage, that commitment is so further ahead of that. And the only way that you're going to be able to have that is through God. God is your centerpiece. God is something that anchors you. God is something that anchors you. And you have that moral compass that you share, that cultural alignment. That is your evenly yoked, so to speak. That's how you're going to be evenly yoked. If you ain't grounded in the Lord and you're not centered culturally, you're going to have issues. That's where it first starts. If you're not there, you're going to have problems in all other areas in your life, in that marriage. And as a man, you got to be the one that's leading that way. And the moment that you stop and you move astray, you're going to have issues because that woman is the weaker vessel. The woman needs to be following you in that, in your spiritual leadership. Talking about a spiritual vampire bringing all that mumbo jumbo nonsense. He just like, you know what? If you ever seen CB4 and Alan Payne played this character of a rapper on there talking about, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black. And that's Dr. Umar Johnson. Alan Payne, right here in the bottom of my screen. He played that character right there, right there. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black. That's Dr. Umar Johnson talking that nonsense. You must individually be free. You must individually serve God. You have to individually have this character set. So when you're choosing your mate, and she got to really be about that too, because they truly are the weaker vessel. I don't believe that we have equality in the sense of leadership. Human rights. See, we get it. We're not having a good descriptive conversation here. And it's not, a lot of points aren't articulated well when we talk about equality. Human rights. Yeah. We're both entitled to eat and breathe. We're both entitled to be able to take care of ourselves. We have some basic human rights, but it ain't no equality in leadership. It ain't no equality in leadership or responsibility. You got people just up here talking. You know, in the Bible, it say you're safe amongst the wise counsel. Do you have it? And people will quote the Bible and quote it wrong. When you're amongst wise counsel, is Dr. Umar, Cheyenne Bryant, David Cooley, are they giving wise counsel as it pertains to relationships? Because I can tell you now, no, it is not wise. No, it is not wise. You're not going to always be in love. It's not going to always be to be with somebody. For some of these people don't even have relationships that have lasted over 5 years. How they know how it's going to be? How do they know how it's going to be? If you haven't had a relationship that extended past 3 to 5 years, then as you develop with somebody and you grow with someone, and maybe some of the changes you don't agree with, you can't just lead a marriage and lead a relationship. A grifter is what he is. Mother love. He just sat up there. Oh, I think you still want Mariah. Man, you're not even listening to what this brother is saying. One of the major points is he could not be the leader he was designed to be there. So he had to go. I don't disagree with that. Now, this does not mean go out and make all these families. That doesn't mean go out and have all these kids. He has the means to do that. You as an average man, you working at the post office, you working in Metro, you can't be doing that. And I do believe it's in our best interest in design to have one wife, have your children, be with that family. By design, that is the best case scenario for you. But what does it take to be there, and how do you get into that and make it thrive? And if it ain't starting with God, then you ain't really starting with nothing. But the issues that we have right now in modern society today is everything is driven by what? The love of what? And that's the root of what? You go fill in the blanks. And it's mainly in our community with our women who are talking about it because they've been empowered to make so much money. And they believe that's the rule. Patriarchy provided you to go get that money. Them women can't get that on their own. Patriarchy provided you to be able to go out and make this income. Then to turn around and say they're not going to help you do nothing, help you build no business. This is the woman's mentality today. What y'all going to do if it go? I've been telling y'all this. Hey, I'm going to link the video in the comments. I'm a pin it where you go hear me had this very same conversation about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Dr. Umar. The very same conversation about them being scammers. Yes, I believe that if you are a therapist, if you are a psychologist, if you work in psychiatry, whatever the case may be, that there are studies and you can go help people based on behavioral science. I understand that. But some things, baby, you got to have a flight time. And if you ain't got it, you got to hush your mouth. You must be quiet on the matter because you don't understand it. That's why I told y'all need to go listen to people that's got 30 plus years, 20 plus years in marriage. Whether they have been divorced or they're still married, you going to gain some knowledge because that's wise counsel. One of the main things that we have in modern America, in the modern society in marriage is finance. For black men specifically, because a lot of black people don't make 6-figure income. And it is thought that you're supposed to come in and provide at a level that's damn near impossible. Instead of working with your mate and still being the man in the head of the household and being able to lead. He talk about bunnies so much, and the white man ain't got that problem. The white man understands who he is as a man. The white man understands masculinity. And while we up here trying to have these false prophets and Malcolm X wannabes, you need to be studying the good habits of that white man and take your masculinity back and choose a mate that's going to come into your universe and your world and enhance it and be where you are spiritually. Shout out to Anton Daniels because he makes a good point with the wife of your youth. Typically, that's what you want. You don't want to be out here getting all these bodies and stuff like that. But something that I understand again, and I'm just kind of staying right there because most of the average men can understand this is in your house, you dealing with a money situation. It's a money situation. These women want you to make a certain amount of money, take care of them, furnish their lifestyles. They're living their life on Instagram instead of y'all living according to the scripture. And if you live righteously and be one and allow God to communicate to you both, you're gonna be all right. But we let the outside world, the keeping up with the Joneses, as they say, really dictate what we do in our marriages and in our relationships. That's what's happening. All this spiritual vampire nonsense. And, hey, let's talk about this narcissism word. Y'all, he's Mother Love. You was up there, Dr. Umar, aka Mother Love, up there talking about narcissism and all that. Y'all just throwing out these terms, as it relate directly to women instead of how is that person operating in their life in totality. You know, narcissism is bigger than how you treat your mate. Narcissism gonna pop up in all aspects. Go look up narcissism and narcissistic traits and what that means and what that's really like, what that is. It ain't just relationship. It's the view of that person, how they see themselves. Never think they're wrong. It's always others to blame. Go look at what people have to really say about that. But as we talk about it as Black people in relationship, it always pertains to leaving the woman and cheating on the woman. That ain't all narcissism. We all have some narcissistic traits. But that's something to say you're a narcissist is, hey, that's like serial killers. Serial killers, narcissists, and sociopaths. Y'all just out here quoting terms. And he's a doctor. I will give him that. He got a PhD. But he's quoting what he hear the women say because that's gonna get an arousal. And that's how y'all gonna get in the comments. Ooh, why we so stuck on Nick anyway? So now maybe this is a little narcissistic. We just gonna look at videos of him talking about why he making the decisions he made. It's entertainment. But what y'all are doing is y'all are getting them comments and stop saying that you don't. Y'all get in these comments, y'all look at these videos and y'all trying to make an application to real life on that. Go get you some wisdom from some elders. Go out into your community and find people that's been married. Make church great again too. Let's see. Go find families within the church and ask them how they stand together. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You need to get out here and go talk to some real elders and wise folk about marriage and what it's really like instead of listening to these grifters. Instead of listening to these people that ain't got no flight time in marriage to even know what's going on. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Marriage is not easy. It's difficult. And it's a marathon. And things change. And y'all into this pop culture with counseling. And y'all into all these old silly ideas from a bunch of single people. That's what it is. Y'all in these ideas with a bunch of just single people that don't know what they're doing. As a matter of fact, hey, I'm gonna give y'all some more. I got some more coming up. Y'all need to get into that on that pinned comment. Go tap it, and I talk about this. Go get that video right now. And y'all need to stay tuned for what else I got for y'all coming up.